Okay, so hello and welcome to yet another Gaming Masters video. So today I'm going to be providing you guys with my first walkthrough that's going to be on this channel in quite a while actually. And this game is called Unravel. It's a game made by Coldwood Entertainment and published by Electronic Arts. It's a platformer puzzle game with a character called Johnny, and as you can see here is some of the like brief information about the game. I'm gonna skip on through that now, and I do have the full version of this game going to be enabled for release on the 4th month, so I'm looking forward to that. And I just wanted to give my overall first looks and opinions, and I'm gonna leave you the cinematic for the time being. Okay, so that was a brief kind of like cinematic as such, kind of giving a little bit of a background. So basically I think I've looked into this game a little bit, and basically the way that it works is you're in like this old lady's house. I think it's a relation of yours, like, sorry about my phone. It's like a kind of grandma kind of thing. It's like you're living in this house, and at the beginning of every mission you start in this room in like this house, and you start every mission there, you find the missions, etc., and just like continue on from there. There's some interesting puzzles apparently, and instead of like your standard checkpoints, there are bits of the game where you're going to have to like get some more yarns so you can continue. It's a beautiful game. I mean, it's one of a kind. It really is. Like, it's such a unique title that's like why I pre-ordered for it. The guy that's behind it is like dedicated so much. Like, this studio, I think it's like their first game or something, as you can see here. So hold RT and fairly easy to understand too. But yeah, like the guy when he announced it at E3 last year with EA, he was like so dedicated, and I'm not surprised that like EA took up such a dedication like to a game, because like hot more to the left, hold LT. Oh cool. Like, these controls are actually pretty decent too. Like, it's not ooh. it's actually really cool. Like, the guy that made it, who was like the studio lead, who came up with the idea, said that the game was like something that his like, it was kind of like dedicated to his home. Like, he grew up in Sweden, etc. So it's all like came up with ideas from like Sweden. So like all the forests and the stuff like that. I'm just trying to get the basic controls. So Tachyon, okay. Sorry, I'm also working out the controls as well, because obviously this is my first time playing the game, but like, it's nice to know people are still like dedicated to such a unique thing. Ah, there we go, that's what I did wrong. He actually made Johnny. Like, the character that you play as is actually a real thing too. Like, it's not just a character that they came up specifically for the game. Like, he made it out of, like, rusty, what did he say? It was, like, made out of the wire that you, like, the metal that you use for, like, an oar, like an anchor for a boat kind of thing. I'm, like, really impressed with how beautiful this platformer looks like. I think it's a comparison. In comparison, I wouldn't be surprised if people like compared it to Ori and the Blind Forest. Like, I don't blame them. The left stick down and release a slingshot. Okay. A really cool game. Like, it's available on PC and PS4 and Xbox One. And as I mentioned earlier, it's published by Electronic Arts, Cold Interactive. I'm not sure if Cold would have done like any previous games. Like, I've personally never heard of the studio before. It'd be awesome if they have done some other games, but it would be even more cool if, like, it's their first ever game. The reason why I think that is because, like, what an amazing game to be your first game that you've made. Like, if you couldn't really have anything really better. Wait, is your first game as a studio? There we go. So, climb up there. That's what I did wrong. So, tie the knot. There we go. Now, it does seem to be fairly sensitive, like, in the aspect of holding the X button to connect the yarn. Because as far as I've noticed, like, it is really, really specific with the whole, like, connecting. Like, you've got to literally tap it, and I've made the mistake of trying to hold X, and that doesn't work. But I wonder if I've got to get that last one. I suppose that makes sense because you can take stuff out and you can put stuff back in. So let me just undo that one. Okay. So let's see what we've got to do here. I love it. It's like so beautiful as well. I've not seen such a beautiful platformer. Oh no, he died. I didn't get the last apple. Oh my god. I'm like actually really emotional now. Like, I know that is an emotional part, like he died, yeah. But like the game, he's the developer, I'm trying to remember his name. That's why I refer to him as Coldwood, because that's the name of the studio, but like he was so dedicated at E3. And what he's made is a game that nobody's gonna be able to forget. Nobody could forget this. Like, also, having a game published by EA. I mean, okay, EA aren't the bestest, well, the best publisher in the world, and they aren't the best company to work for, but to be recognised by a studio like EA, I mean a company like EA, for your first title, like, respect to the whole team. A unique IP and a unique concept too. Shit, I wasn't looking. I was trying to work out if they'd done other games. Coldwood Interactive, Sweden. They've been around since 2003. So it's not their first game, but damn. So what other games have they made, I wonder? Ski racing games, Freak Out, sports game packs, a lot of ski games. There's a fighting game for PS3 and a fitness game for PS3 as well. So yeah, it's quite a variety of games, isn't it? Like, respect. I mean, this is their 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th game that they've made, and they were VA making what could be a really, really, really successful IP, or at least a successful game. Like, Unravel is going to be successful no matter what happens, because everybody at E3 was talking about it afterwards, And it's one of the games that was like a huge surprise. Like, nobody is expecting it. Nobody knew what Unravel was. There weren't any leaks or anything like that as well, which is such a nice thing nowadays because so many games, they get leaked like 2 weeks before launch, 2 weeks before the announcement or something like that. And it's just so nice to have such a new IP and concept of a game to be released. I mean, platformers have come in quite a lot recently, especially since Ori and the Blind Forest's huge success that it had last year, I think it was. But props to Coldwood and all of the developers, etc. That took probably quite a lot of work to actually get something that EA recognize so well. I mean, I've recorded this in 1080p 60 frames per second, and I'm not sure what the resolution is in game, but it certainly looks like a game that is going to be 1080p on all platforms, but we'll see. What's this? What have they done? There we go. So I'm trying to work out how I can get to that yarn. I can't wait for the full release of this. I really can't. There's yarn there. But how do you get to it? Ah, there we go. This is the EA Access trial on the Xbox One at the moment. Actually, after playing it, I wouldn't have minded having it on PC. The reason why I didn't get it on PC was because, like, even though PC is always regarded as the superior platform, like, I just didn't feel that I would enjoy a platformer on PC. However, I've actually really, like, respect the guy for doing it, and I wouldn't actually complain about buying it again and playing this on PC. Personally, I prefer platformers and stuff like this on a console, like the Xbox One or PS4. But, oh, I remember this section. I want to say this was in the EA demo. I mean, not the EA demo, but like the like demonstration of what you've got to do. Reveal trailer. I'm so bad with learning stuff when I'm concentrating on such a beautiful game. I can't stress enough. I will be, I believe this is digital only though, which I understand it's like perfectly fine obviously, but it would be, it's such a shame that like some people won't be able to have this because they don't have the ability to connect to the internet to download. But if they don't make another Unravel, I'd be very surprised. I can imagine the sales are going to be fairly high for it too. I'm trying to work out how you do this. Oh, do you climb up? So if I... There we go. That's clever. I love that. And it's not like the sound, like the music in the background is like really annoying either. It's... I wouldn't say the music is as, how do I put this? Like, it's not as catchy so far in comparison to Ori and the Blind Forest, which was another 3D platformer released in 2014, like November of 2014, released on Xbox One. But like the music's still beautiful, and like the music for like the characters and like the movement and the game world and stuff like that is beautiful. I do find the music quite repetitive, simply because it's like the only music that they've actually, well, at least I have heard so far, which in some ways I find quite a shame, but I understand why. Like, it's not the easiest thing to make a huge number of tracks, especially for a new IP. There we go. I think we've finished it now, I'm not sure. We have memories of, like, what's happened in the past as such, I think, as well. I think that's what the kind of silhouettes are, like, that pop up every now and again. Yeah, this bit was definitely in the EA demo. I mean, the press conference. Definitely. Because I recognize it so much. The sound of the seesaw. Hedgehog. Oh. Have I gone wrong somewhere? Work out where I've got to go. There's nothing that I can see. And I can't climb up. I wanted to try and like, I wonder. something back here that I have to do. That's it. It's another thing, like, I wouldn't have expected to have to do that. Like, it's not... It all makes sense now, having to make this bridge. And, like, why the block fell down. But you wouldn't always, like, use that as a method of thinking, I suppose. Like, I personally didn't. But it all makes sense now. It's a physics-based platform. Ooh, this has gone very dark. And the music's changed as well. Oh, this is gonna be this year's Ori and the Blind Forest. I'm like really loving this, and I'm half an hour in on the first mission. I knew I was gonna love this. Like, you can just... dedication that some people put into stuff that they love, and they're like not home with, but like if I say at home with, what I mean by that is like they have created themselves. Something that I've got to do. Or something that I've got to bring. Oh, that's it. No, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to... There we go. No. I have full respect for these guys. Really do. I've worked on the game. I do game testing as, like, not as a career as such, but I do game testing and would love to do something like that as a career, but the respect that I have for game developers and the whole process. down on the D-pad. There we go. That's what I wanted. There we go. Oh. That's beautiful. I loved it. Like, I'm gonna do the other levels as well, of course, but I love this. I'm gonna do a full walkthrough of this game on the channel. I'm not sure how quickly it's gonna be out. I'm gonna record as much as possible now and get it up as soon as possible. I hope you've really enjoyed this. I certainly have. And I would recommend that you do go and check out Unravel. It's available on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. You can get 10 hours for free if you use your Origin Access login or your EA Access login on the respective platforms. That's PC and Xbox One. Really do check this game out. It's only £15. It's not a full AAA cost of a game, but it certainly feels like a AAA game and is published by EA. It's beautiful. It's a puzzle, physics-based platformer. And like, if you don't want to check this game out yourself and have a go yourself, if I can't sell it to you, at least watch the whole walkthrough, see what it's all about, and then you never know, you might get the second game if they do a second one, or you might even get this at some point. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to like, follow, and of course, as always, subscribe. It's very much appreciated, and I shall see you in the next video.